The next financial document you need to be familiar with, and the most important of the three documents, is the balance sheet. The purpose of the balance sheet is to show the appropriate parties and/or authorities that the business's account is indeed balanced. The balance sheet is the financial document where the financial equation is on full display. This is where you will see in detail all of the business's assets, liabilities, and owner or stockholders' equity. We will look at a sample balance sheet that has been created in the spreadsheet. This balance sheet is for XYZ Incorporated. On this sheet, our focus will be on 4 columns: column A, column C, column D, and column F. Column A focuses on assets. Cell A1 is where we would find the main category heading. Cells A2 and A11 are subcategory headings, which are current assets and fixed assets. Cells A3 through A8 are subcategories of current assets. Cell A9 is the total for current assets. Cells A12 through A14 are subcategories of fixed assets, and cell A15 is the net for the land and buildings. Cells A17 and 18 are remaining assets, and cell A19 is net equipment. Finally, in column A, cell 29, we have the total assets. Column C is where we will find the numerical data for each subcategory, the totals for each subcategory, and the overall total assets. Cells C9, C15, and C19 are also referred to as subtotals because they are the subtotals of the overall total assets. When calculated together, it would amount to the total assets that's inputted into cell C29. Column D focuses on liabilities and owner's equity. Cell D1 is the main category heading. Cells D2 and D16 are the subcategory headings, which are current liabilities and long-term liabilities. Cells D3 through D13 are the subcategories of current liabilities. And cell D14 is the total current liabilities. Cells D17 and D18 are the subcategories of long-term liabilities. And cell D19 is the total long-term liabilities. Cell D21 is the total liabilities. Cell D23 is where we find our category heading for owner's equity. Cells D24 through D26 are the subcategory for owner's equity. And cell D25 is the total owner's equity. Cell D29 is where we find the heading for total liabilities and owner's equity. Column F is where the numerical data for the subcategories of current liabilities, long-term liabilities, owner's equity, and total liabilities and owner's equity have been inserted. We're not going to focus on the subcategories of the assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Their placement on this sheet is just for us to get an idea of how a balance sheet looks and how each part of the equation is broken down into detail. What we will do, however, is calculate each section of this balance sheet to determine if indeed this business account is balanced. If we look at the total assets, we received a numerical figure of $518,200. And if we look at the total liabilities and owner's equity, we received the exact figure of $518,200. This may be accurate, however, we will be diligent and do the necessary calculations to see if it is so. You must always check and double check to make sure the account is balanced. The first section we will calculate is the current assets. To calculate the current assets, we will put the necessary formula into cell C9. In cell C9, we will insert equals C5 plus C6 plus C7 plus C8 and either press return or click on another cell. And we should have received the value of $55,200. The reason we did not calculate cells C3 and C4 is because those cells added together equals C5. So C5 is our starting point. The next section we will calculate is net land and buildings under the fixed assets. To calculate the net land and buildings, we will have to insert the proper equation into cell C15. The formula we will enter is equals C12 plus C13 minus C14. The reason we are subtracting cell C14 is because of depreciation. Depreciation means to decrease. So once the formula is entered, we can press return or click on another cell and the value should read 430,000. The next section we will calculate is net equipment. To calculate net equipment, we will insert the proper formula in cell C19. The formula we will enter is equals C17 minus C18. Remember that depreciation means decrease. That's why we are subtracting. We should receive the value of $33,000. Now we need to calculate the total assets. To do this, we need to insert the proper formula into cell C29. In cell C29, we insert equals C9 plus C15 plus C19. Cells C9, 15, and 19 are the subtotals of the total assets. That's why we are calculating them together. We should receive a value of $518,200. We now know that the total assets equals $518,200. Let's see if total liabilities and owner's equity are the same. We will begin by calculating the total current liabilities. In cell F14, we will insert the formula equals F3 plus F4 plus F5 plus F6 plus F7 plus F8 plus F9 plus F10 plus F11 plus F12 plus F13. This should give us the value of $24,950. Next, we will calculate total long-term liabilities. In cell F19, we will insert the formula equals F17 plus F18. This should give us the value of $195,000. To find total liabilities, we will calculate the subtotals, which are cells F14 and F19. So, in cell F21, we will insert the formula equals F14 plus F19. Which should give us the value of $219,950. To calculate owner's equity, we will insert the formula inside cell F27 equals F24 plus F25 plus F26. Which should give us the value of $298,250. Now, to find liabilities and owner's equity, we will calculate total liabilities and total owner's equity. So, in cell F29, we will insert the formula equals F21 plus F27. Which should give us the value of $518,200. So, according to this balance sheet, assets does equal liabilities plus owner's equity. You've learned how to successfully calculate a balance sheet. However, there is much more to learn about this document. As we wrap up this lesson, consider these questions. What is the purpose of a balance sheet? Why are there categories and subcategories?